Star money draped in gold, we sipping on success. Diamonds make moves, icy wrists stay fresh. Dating lights flicker, shadows of the best. Click rolling deep, never failing, no test. I'm the man, star money's glow. Diamonds dance, watch them show. Click together, never solo. Ohio's finest, let them know. OVO.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome. Like I do this every time I do this. Everything I do it on God. Everything we do it on God. When I do it, two crazy motherfuckers do it on God. Young Money, Bad News, Coach Silver, Star Money Click. No one rap in the world. I'm also BMC for life. Legendary coming soon. Brand new album. Fire. 1-5. Other Coach Silver, Star Money Click. No one producer in the world. Punish Me Vodka sponsors every show we do. He also has a single out right now. Mountaintop. Fire. Jimmy 2 times. Brother from another mother. We ain't even gonna talk about what his shit say today. He's in A today. He's in A. He has a lot of teams. Y'all know what he's wearing. One of them. This is my guy. We are the All God Podcast.
You know why I did that? You know why I did that, man? They showed a picture of my stadium with a big ass picture of goddamn Sam Bradford, a Seahawks jersey, just up there. I was like, that's just totally disrespectful.
I mean, come with the territory, man. They in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right, I'll go by and shoot at that shit.
Yeah, you foul. All right, so let me start this off. I want to give my first two things I want to say today before we get going into the subjects. I want to give a rest in heaven to Catherine O'Hara, passes at 71, known as the mother from Home Alone, also known as the mother from Beetlejuice. Very, 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 very special actor to the world, special actor to the game. Actress. She was one of the best. Really known for Home Alone the most, but you can't forget her in Beetlejuice as well.
Oh, she was in a lot of good ones.
Oh, yeah, she's in a lot of movies.
A lot of good ones.
I also want to give a rest in heaven to Lamont from Sanford and Son. The son, Wilson, passed away, 79 years old. He passed away from cancer. Anybody watching us that's young, you might not have known this, but Sanford and Son was like one of the. It was a Bill Cosby. It was a Cosby show. It was a Martin. It was a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's one of those. It's built to that. It's built in one of those lifestyles where we grew up on that. He looked good too. It's crazy he passed away from cancer because he looked really good. My condolences to both of their families. We got y'all in our prayers. God rest both their souls. I just want to put that out there before we start the show. Mm-hmm. All right, let's transition. We're going NFL first. The Eagles hired Sean Mannion, as the OC. He's the former quarterback coach for the Green Bay Packers. 33 years old. He gets a lot of praise around the league. He was also NFL quarterback for 4 different franchises. He never was really a good quarterback as far as throwing the ball, but he knew the game very well. He has been talked about around the league by a lot of people that's been in the league, played in the league, coached in the league. He's one of those up-and-comers. He is my new OC. We have also added Josh Grizzard, former Bucs OC, as our quarterback coach, who made Baker Mayfield look like he was better than he was. I am very, very happy for this hire on both sides because they're young boys. The vision in the future is very good for both of them. I want to know, what do y'all think about our hire? 1-5, what you think?
Man, I think you guys did same thing you do every year. You make fabulous moves. The Eagles is the class of the NFL when it comes to front office decisions. So I like them both. I think they're both young. They're both hungry. Now, the only problem I see with the hires is you're going to need new ones here in about a year or two. You know what I mean? But other than that, that means you're being successful. So that's a good thing too.
2 times, what you think?
I agree with what he says. The funny thing is the quarterback coach thing. I think the reason why they brought him in also too was to clean up some of the mechanics that Hurts had. But I've also heard things about your team over the past few, season about your backup, the young guy. they feel like if they was to move on from Hurts, he'll be the next heir apparent. So that's that bringing him in to kind of groom him a little bit just in case they do move that direction. But I think overall that could help that quarterback room tremendously. And I feel like y'all needed a breath of fresh air for when it comes to the offensive coordinating position. Y'all offense got a little stagnant at times when it just didn't make any sense, especially that one game against the Redskins. Y'all was up 21-0 and y'all just scored another point and y'all end up losing. Like, that's crazy. Y'all should have blew them the fuck out. So it's like, I think there's times where y'all take the foot off the gas. I think y'all need a new guy in there, new vision, young guy come in and know how to really crank up the offense and keep the change moving and keep teams from creeping back into games and y'all losing games you shouldn't lose.
To me, what makes the move great is we moved away from the Sirianni tree. Our offensive coordinator he was from his tree. It was like,
yeah,
we're not really like feeding into what's going on around in the league. We just following the standard of almost like conservative football, not doing anything spectacular. And we got spectacular players. It's like, bro, you got too much fucking talent. And remember, my offense, these guys is under 30 years old. You know, Saquon Barkley is the oldest player in my offense as far as like spectacular players. The rest of these guys young, man. Like, so it's like to get a young guy in there 33, he could gel with him, you know. And remember, he made Jordan Love look good for years. I think we're gonna have him for at least 2 years. I don't think he's gonna get a job after the first year, even if we do win it or we do very successful. I think it's gonna take 2 years for him to get on. But I think it's a stand-up job for us. Shout out to Nick Fangio because Vic Fangio was gonna leave. He was gonna retire, but he decided he's gonna come back for 2026. But even if he leaves, remember, Jim Schwartz just told us recently he would love to come back to Philly. I would love to have Jim Schwartz back because that's my guy. I fuck with him. He was our coordinator before he was in Cleveland. So I would love to have him back. But that's part of the Eagles. Move on. Clint Kubiak is the new Raiders head coach. 2 times. What you think about that move?
Well, it hasn't been announced yet, but they said after the Super Bowl. But that when they say it like that and they put it out there like that, barring some,
he's the head coach.
I'm with you on that.
I got it from Adam Schefter. He's the new head coach.
No, I know. I saw the same stuff you got. The only reason why I'm saying that is because your boy in New England had the coach job, decided to go back. So until he officially,
don't nobody move like him. He's not a head coach.
I know.
That's why
I know. That was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Between him and Pete Carroll doing that shit with the Patriots back in the day, that's the only other 2 times I've ever seen that crazy shit. But like I said, it's pretty much a done deal. But just because of that, I leave the door cracked just for fuckery's sake. But I like that move. Another young hire. I think the Raiders need to try every damn thing they can to get this shit moving because. Remember when we was kids, the Raiders used to be at least a playoff team. Yeah, they may not have been the team like, oh, goddamn, the Raiders, you know, but they were a team that, okay, they were serviceable. They had credibility. You know, at one time, they were the winningest team in Monday Night Football history, you know, in the early 90s. So it's like they had a synonymy to their name, and I think they lost that with all these bad moves, you know, drafting horrible quarterbacks, bringing in horrible past their prime head coaches or head coaches that shouldn't have been in the first place. Just never being able to show up a defense. You know, they used to be a proud defensive team. You know, there used to be so many things that you associated with the Raiders name, and the only thing you can associate it with is futility and the fact that they're in Sin City. You know, it's unfortunate, but like I said, maybe this is a step in the right place. Maybe Mark Davis is finally going to get this right, and I'm going to be optimistic about this move because I feel like he's from the Kubiak family. They normally bring in success. They know how to move the ball, and that's something they need to do, be able to move that ball down the field, score some touchdowns, even if they can't get that defense to, you know, to be equal parts this up-and-coming first season with him.
1-5, what you think?
Well, I think the Raiders' strength was defense if they had a strength. Their defense was, you know, it was decent, but it was a lot better than the offense was. So I see why they brought Kubiak in. They got that young running back, Genty. I think what we'll see is they're going to get Mendoza as the quarterback. So they're going to marry Mendoza and Kubiak together. And let's see what they do, man. I think it was a great hire on their part. I mean, I don't know if it was a smart choice for Kubiak to go there, but I guess he just showed he was up for a challenge, man, because that's the challenge. That's going to be a challenge to turn that franchise around within 3 to 4 years. That's how that back, in my opinion. Talent.
Yeah, I agree with both of y'all. I think it was a great hire. I think that Mendoza is definitely going to be number one pick, and I think because people are watching Kubiak doing what he did with Sam Darnold in that offense, because if you really look at him, it's Coop, it's JSN, and then it's Bobo. And then nobody see Bobo coming out. He came out of nowhere. So they're four, and they got a nice little tight end. He's a good tight end, but I think it's gonna work perfectly for them. I think people are gonna follow him. Honestly, I think Kubiak gonna get people to come to the Raiders. Honestly, the Bills hired Jim Leonard as their defensive coordinator. He is the former defensive pass coordinator, game coordinator for the Broncos. So he is now over in Buffalo. Jim Leonard, Buffalo. I don't know if you want to. I don't know what you want to call it. I mean, if that's what you need, he wants to step up. He was a pass game coordinator, and he's moving up. I give him that. But praise to you, bro. Saleh to the Titans as the head coach. Dabo is following as the offensive coordinator with the Titans. Years ago, I heard Dabo wanted to be there anyway with he wanted to coach Cam Ward anyway. Do y'all think this is a good hire for both of them to go there to Tennessee? 1-5.
I think it was a decent hire, to be honest with you. They're both kind of proven head coaches in the league. They're both proven coordinators in the league. It's not necessarily like the most flashy hires or the most exciting hires, but I think it was the most solid hires for a franchise that needs a complete overhaul. I thought they brought in a couple of solid guys. I thought they did decent jobs at where they were at the past couple of years with the talent that they were given. So, yeah, I mean, salute to Titans, man. I'm excited to see what they do. They just need to get some weapons around Cam Ward.
True. 2 times, what you think?
To be honest with you, I don't have a problem with either one of these situations here. To lose my defensive coordinator, which I knew some about when he came in last season, I knew he wasn't going to be there very long, especially my take was that if there was going to be a lot of teams that were available for head coaching positions this offseason, there was a good chance that he would get one in this cycle, and that's what ended up happening. We talked about earlier in the season when Dable kind of made Jackson Dart a relevant quarterback for the most part during the season. We both said, well, damn, maybe, we first were going to say, well, he's probably going to get fired. And then that happened. Oh, he probably saved his job. And then a few weeks later, he was out of there. So, I feel like from a standpoint, I think he's better suited to be an offensive coordinator anyway, because he didn't have the real success that he was supposed to have with the Giants. And that's pretty much a real hard market to actually have success in anyway. The New York market, just no matter what sport you do, if you're not winning, they're on your ass immediately. And for each sport to have 2 New York franchises and those fans to want both of their teams to win the championship in each sport is unreasonable. So just even from that standpoint, it's just unreasonable in general. So his work was cut out for him anyway there. So I think in Tennessee, they're getting a new stadium. It's a reset. The Adams family, they're kind of one of them old school, the original AFL franchise owners. So I think they're going to give them a chance to actually, set up shop, try to get that team turned around, get Cam Ward in the right direction, and build something off of what legacy they have started in Tennessee. And at one time, they were a proud franchise that actually were, perennial playoff team. So I'd like to see that happen. I think it's a good hire, and we'll just see where that goes.
I like the move. I think that Tennessee needs discipline, and I think Saleh brings that. I think they've been missing that for years. Even with Vrabel, I think his discipline lifestyle left. They didn't respect him anymore. Daboll's going to bring that older conservative. I mean, it's more like they need some organization. And he organized this shit to reward as long as they get him some weapons. Without weapons, we don't know. But if they get Cam Ward some weapons with Dabo calling plays, they should be better than they were. So we'll see where that goes. I hope they get better though. I want to see something new. Arizona Cardinals hired Mike LaFleur as their new head coach. He was the Rams offensive coordinator. Everybody had this perception that McVay calls all the plays. He doesn't. A lot of the people that you think call all the plays because they're known for what they're known for, they don't call all the plays. So LaFleur earns a job as the head coach as the from the Rams to Arizona. I'm gonna say this first before I let y'all go. I don't know how to feel about this because at the end of the day, I don't know what Arizona needs. I really don't. They hired a defensive coordinator to be head coach last year with my guy, Jonathan Gannon. They hired an offensive coordinator this year to be the head coach. They hired Kingsbury to be the head coach before he was the offensive coordinator. I just think that roster needs to be redone, and I think that's what it'll help the coach work. Now, hopefully, he figures it out, but I don't know. 2 times, what you think about this hire?
I think it's a good one. One thing about the Cardinals, I will say, they got a lot of nice young players, and they were the most injured team in the NFL outside of my 49. It was us, them, and another team I can't think of offhand, but they were one of 3 teams that were the most injured, but one of 2 that didn't make the playoffs. We were one of those first 3 that made the playoffs with the decimation of injuries that they had. So, me personally, I think I like the fact that they got a nice little front 7. It's young. I like Will Johnson, the quarterback there. So they have some pieces on defense. I think the Michael Wilson kid, y'all's guy, Harrison, and then you got tight end. You got some pieces there. You just need somebody to come in and put that shit together. They got some holes, but with a last place record, I really feel like with a couple of moves in the draft and maybe some free agency moves, the Cardinals might actually be one of those teams that kind of overachieves or actually takes advantage of a weak-ass schedule next year and actually wins more games than what they did this year. So I ain't gonna put them in that New York Giant or that Raiders situation where they're just futile. They were just fucking injured. They couldn't keep anybody on the field long enough. And I think even if they were to bring in another quarterback, I think Brissett is a really good bridge quarterback because he had a hell of a year. I'm going to be honest with you. I really feel like they should run with him, but I know that that's not going to happen. So I think he's going to at least get a chance to at least be a bridge quarterback. They're going to bring in a guy, whoever it is that they're going to draft, probably going to draft somebody early. But I think that they have some pieces there. It's just they need a coach that's going to be the glue to put that shit together because it was just mess. It was almost like when you sit on a box of cereal and open it up and pour that shit. So we'll see where that goes.
1-5, what you think?
I like the hire. Actually, I think that young head coach or young offensive coordinator for the Rams was exactly what they need. They need somebody that can come in and make that offense a little more exciting. I do think Kyler Murray's, I think we all agree on that, his days are numbered in Arizona. And I agree with 2 times on Brissett. You let him run it, draft somebody, build that somebody up, and maybe you do like they used to do back in the day, bring them in midway through if you're not playing for something or if, Brissett starts struggling, you bring him in to see what you got in them. But they're going to draft somebody probably in the 2nd round, I would imagine, because they got some other needs they could use that 1st round on. And this really isn't a deep quarterback class anyway. So I think you can get somebody decent in the 2nd round that you could build on as long as they got time to work with them and get them up to speed. I think they'll be all right. I'm on the same campus 2 times. I think they're going to be one of those surprise teams like the Bears this year or the Jaguars or someone like that to take advantage of that weak-ass schedule. And then, we may be talking about them in the playoff hunt. They may not make the playoffs, but they'll be in the hunt next year for sure.
All right, 1-5. I'm gonna let you take over with the NFL talk. You got the floor. Go ahead.
So
for our next subject,
we need to figure something out with the Pro Bowl. And I ain't talking about necessarily what they do with the Pro Bowl this year. but I'm talking about the honor of being a Pro Bowler. So being a Pro Bowler used to be a big thing, and that helped a lot with going towards your Hall of Fame resume. But now none of these quarterbacks want to even be in the Pro Bowl, which I get. So you got Shedeur Sanders, who threw 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions as a quarterback in the Pro Bowl this year. He didn't earn it. Not that he was given the chance all year to earn it, but he's not a Pro Bowl quarterback this year. So what I'm suggesting is you have all pros, where you pick one at the best position, one player that's the best at that position, and then you have Pro Bowlers, which could also be an all pro for the year, but you do like a normal roster: 2-3 quarterbacks, 2-3 running backs, four wide receivers, 2 tight ends, two left tackles, and you go down the list. And that goes towards your resume as an honor. And then they do what they're doing right now. They just bring in entertainment on the Sunday, the Pro Bowl Sunday, and you do the skill thing, the flag football thing, which I kind of like the flag football game.
I like it.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's a lot better than the game was there for a while. But I think they need to do something to have the Pro Bowl honor back, and then then you should just plug in whoever you want for these games. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
So I think that's how they got to improve the Pro Bowl situation.
I feel like that's what they do, though. I feel like that they give the people their honor, but they like the guys that like make it far and don't want to play in the game. They fill them in for other people to play in the game, which I don't mind that, but I feel like the guys that they selected should still have to show up.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean? So we can know that they were actually Pro Bowlers. Because you don't know who with the Pro Bowl, you don't even know who the fuck is in the Pro Bowl anymore. And you don't give a fuck. Right. I mean, you really don't. Like
what I'm saying. So if you want the skill challenges and the flag football thing, that's fine. Just bring in the young guys, let them come out there and develop a little bit. If some of the older guys want to do it, fine. But, put that Pro Bowl designation as an honor, like an award type of situation, like Offensive Player of the Year and all that good stuff. First team All-American, second team All-American, that type of designation.
Yeah.
I feel what you want. How you guys felt about that?
2 times, what you think about it?
The one thing about the NFL that sets itself apart from the rest of the Major League sports, all the other sports have long ass seasons. So their all-star game or their is in the middle of the season. You can't really do that with the NFL. And it's hard to play a game because, all it takes is for your best guy to go to the Pro Bowl, tear his fucking knee up, and now you don't even got him for the next year. And for the longest time, teams was gambling with that shit. So they finally got rid of that, and now they do the flag thing. But my thing is this: you're playing flag, you get hurt in that shit too, so you might as well play the game. Either way with me would have been fine, a game or flag football or a skills competition. Like, remember the skills competition you do back in the day? I thought that would be, but I'm talking about like make that the main attraction versus anything else. And then just have a show or something where you name off all the players that are named for the Pro Bowl, kind of like the Heisman Trophy, and they all show up at a place, and then they all go through their accolades for the year, and then you announce the Walter Payton Man of the Year. You have an award show. I'd rather they do that and have some little minor shit than you just, I don't know. I personally feel like the NFL's one is probably the biggest mess of all of it. It just seems like they can't really get a solid foundation of that. But me personally, whatever they do with that is fine with me. I've gotten to the point now where when I was a kid, I used to watch that shit religiously. Now I don't even pay no attention hardly. I go see who the Pro Bowlers are. I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then I go on. I'll be ready for who's going to be the fucking free agents and who, the draft and all that other stuff. So that sounds like a good idea.
I think I like it because it's more entertaining than the NBA. I'll give it that because that the flag football is good. It's fun to watch. It really doesn't. It really doesn't hamper injury because the way they don't play super hard, but they play hard enough. They don't wear pads; they wear regular clothes. I like it. I really do. I think it's sweet. I watch it all the time. I think it's dope. Let's switch gears. Let's go to the NBA. 2 times what you got for me.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Charlotte Hornets guard Amari Bailey. I don't know where I got the Cooper from. Amari Bailey is suing to try to get his eligibility back so he could work on his game and go back to college. Now, he went to the University of UCLA. That's where he came from. He's been in the league for about a year now, and I don't really know how to feel about this because I was actually out somewhere getting some food when I just happened to chime in on ESPN and I saw the article and at first I didn't understand by the way they had it written. So when I clicked on it and I read it, I said, "What?" It's almost to me. It almost feels like a newborn baby. He's 2 years old. He decides he want to go back to his mama's stomach. That's what that feels like to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like, dude, you've played professional football. Professional basketball. Now you want to go back to college and work on your game? Like, you can work on your game in the pros. Go to the G League. But going back to UCLA to do that's kind of stupid.
No,
but he's suing about this shit.
He's not the first player. He's like
I know, but
player. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. I'll give you another name that you probably didn't even know about. Dwayne Wade's son is doing it too. He just got offered to come back to college. They just gave him 4 years of eligibility that he still had left because when you leave and go to the G, you got to understand, these boys went to the G League. They got drafted to the G League. Amari Bailey played with James' son. Amari Bailey was playing in Sierra Canyon in California. I followed his whole high school career. He went to UCLA. He was okay in his first year. He went to the draft, but he got drafted to the G League. He was not NBA ready. What I think they need to do is they need to change. They need to figure out something where they need to go through like some camps or something. I feel like where you have a camp where if you meet the qualifications of NBA ready, like you meet these numbers, you can go to the draft. If you don't meet these numbers, you have to go back to college for another year. Period. Because it's fucking up the game. You boys knew y'all wasn't ready. It's like the other boy, the other kid, that it was another kid, I forget his name, but he's the one that started this whole shit. And all the coaches was mad about it. What's your boy used to be coaching for Kentucky? Coach for Calhoun.
No, not Calhoun. Calipari.
Pissed. He was the first one to say something about it. He's pissed. A lot of the college coaches are pissed about it, but at the same time, like I said, they need to come up with a formula where you put these motherfuckers, because you know they go do the workout to see who they gonna get drafted by anyway, right? So what you do is when you at the workout, make a point system, set it up on the point system. If you reach these points, you can go to the league. If you're under these points, no exception either. None. If you're under a certain point spread, bro, you got to go back to the college game. You at least got to go back for a year. After that year, you come back, you can try it again. If you ain't good enough, you got to take your ass back again. Because we're putting too many fucking kids in the NBA, and that's why the Wizards are so goddamn sorry. Because you're watching kids play in the NBA. The same Wizards team that got the last 5 years, it seemed like they had a number 1 pick or top 5 pick. I just watched my Lakers play them yesterday, and we beat these motherfuckers by 40. And it was like, I'm watching the game, I'm like, it looked like grown-ass man. It's not worth it. Like, you got to change that, bro. That's the only solution I could think of, for real. But I already knew about the Amari Bailey thing because I knew about a kid before that. I just can't remember his name. But I remember that Calipari was pissed. Like, he's coming back. Like, we could just let him come back. And they're like, make it in the league. He's too young. He's like 19. Like, and then what else is fucking it up is college football is fucking this up right now. College football is the reason why they want to do this. Because the Indiana Hoosiers just won with 25, 26, and 27-year-old motherfuckers. So if that's what you're going to do, like I said, in both things, in college football and NBA, with a point system. If you don't meet the points, bro, you got to go back. If you meet the points, you can enter into the draft. Now, if you get drafted, you do. If you don't, that's your fault. If you don't get drafted, though, you can't go back. That's how I look at it. What you think?
I think they need to adapt how the NFL does things. You can't come out until after 3 years of college. I mean, I know there's some guys that are ready before that in the NBA, but there's only so many NBA spots. It's not like the NFL where there's, a few hundred roster spots, almost 1,000 or some roster spots a year. You're fighting over 50, 60, maybe 100 roster spots. And not every freshman is ready for that. So, you know who the exceptional 2 or 3 are. You know what I mean? But, at the same point in time, man, you got to do something like maybe after your first year, there's an evaluation by the scouts. And if all the, like you said, like maybe a point system, but have the scouts for the teams vote on it. And if there's not a majority of teams that think you can be drafted the first round, then you go back for a second year. Then the second year you come out or you want to come out, same thing. If they don't think you're ready to be drafted in the first round, then you go back for the third year. And then after the third year, you can go on the draft and you can be drafted anywhere. But they need to do something with it. Like you said, they're drafting all these kids. They're getting all these 19, 20-year-olds as 17-year-olds from overseas to compete with it. And we're not competing with that. We're not competing with that because those kids are playing pro ball. They're not playing high school. They're not playing college. They're playing pro. So the only way our guys can develop is college. And not only that, that would help the college game. Honestly, that would help the college game a lot because when college was really sweet, you knew the players. You knew the players.
You don't know, bro. You know a motherfucker for 1 year.
Yeah.
And you don't know him until the end of the year or the tournament.
That's what I'm saying. But the tournament made legends. Think of Christian Leitner. Christian Leitner wouldn't have been an NBA player if he didn't play in the tournament.
Wayne became a legend.
Yes.
Imagine if Ben Simmons would have stayed 3 or 4 years.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Been a lot better. So I think they need to do something like that. Maybe, you do the point thing, but you do the voting as well. And then if you're not within a majority, then you take your ass back to school. I mean,
I agree.
they're making a lot of money in school anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So I think they need to change the rule. I agree with you. I think they need to change that 1 year to at least 2. At least 2, if not 3, 2.
Yeah.
Because y'all getting money anyway. You NIL players now.
Right.
You motherfuckers getting paid.
Or what they could do, they could take a little bit of piggyback off of what you said. Those ones that are blue chippers, the ones that they still feel like, they can't miss, they go get evaluated. They got a window. And if they have 2 options, the G League or back to school. But if you pick wrong, you just fucked after that.
You fucked, yeah. Because you fucking up players that's coming in to go to college that want to play ball because you want to bring your old ass back because you couldn't make it. Then you go later. Then you go back to this the fucked up part. This is what Calipari's argument was. Now the old guy comes back. He goes to one of these schools and he goes to one of the top ones, and then they go to the NCAA tournament and win it all.
Right.
And he'd be like, well, how'd you win it all? Well, because our point guard is 27. Or our 2 guard is 26. Or my 5 is 28.
Yeah. He's 42 with 3 kids.
I heard the argument. The argument was if we're going to do this, why am I ever going to go to high school and recruit? I'm just going to go to the G League and recruit kids now, like 20-year-olds. Hey, I don't think you're doing too well over here in the G League. Why don't you come play for Arkansas? You know.
But part of the problem is though, the NBA teams are some of them bad teams are so thirsty that they're encouraging some of those kids to come, and then the Euro leagues aren't helping.
That's why
they can't have other places to go. The Euro League shouldn't encourage that shit either. You either got to go back to school, the G League, or you just ass out. But when you got other ways around this shit.
Well, I think
why you think I use the Wizards? That's why I use the Wizards as the
Wizards are fucked up.
They're the youngest fucking team in the league, and they sorry.
Wizards and Hornets are prime examples of that.
Fucking kids.
Yeah.
Ain't no but kids on them teams, bro.
Yeah, and I think the NIL kind of crushed the Euro move that these kids were doing, where they'd go over to Europe and get paid, get some money. So now they're getting money in college. They don't need to go to Europe or
No.
anything like that, or Australia no more. They can still play college and at a higher level and, still get their money, man. So, yeah, they need to do something. I think 3 years is perfect. It gives their body time to mature. It gives their game time to develop, their fundamentals time to develop. The NBA will be better for it. College will be much better for it.
The NIL is fucking the college basketball game. I'm gonna tell you one reason why. Because these kids are getting paid.
Yeah.
But the NBA is giving guaranteed money.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not like the NFL. The NFL gives you guaranteed money, but they don't give you as much guaranteed money as they give you money. The guaranteed money the NBA gives you, whatever you sign for, you getting every goddamn penny you sign for, plus the signing bonus.
Right.
The NFL give you them incentives with the signing bonus. This your guaranteed money, but you got this other money you can't touch yet unless you get this much. That's what they need to work out. But we'll move on. All right, so we're in the NBA. We're going to stay in the NBA for a minute. Paul George suspended 25 games for violating the anti-drug policy. The crazy thing about this thing he did, though, is he took improper medication for his mental illness. He knew he took it, which is crazy, but when he comes back, he's only got 10 games left in the season. Good thing the Sixers are playing pretty good. How do y'all feel about this? I think he should have been suspended for taking improper medication for his mental health, because it's not like he took like steroids or something to make his game better. He took something to help him with his mental capacity.
So I think that's a fine line. Now, do I think he should be punished for that? No.
No, I don't either.
But here's the slippery slope. What's stopping the next guy from taking it for performance?
True.
And it's for mental health. Now, what I think should happen is there should be a door open between the NBA, the NBA Players Association, and the players, to where the players can come to the league in good faith and say, hey, look, I'm seeing this psychiatrist. They've prescribed me this for my mental health. I need to take this for my mental health. Get the NBA to okay it, and then this is all voided. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I can see how players will also be like, my mental health is my business. It's nobody else's business. But if you want to take that route, man, you're going to be suspended, because you got to have an open door policy to some sort of extent to say, hey, look, I'm taking this. This is, some of the side effects. This is what it is, and have the league look into it. And, I just think this could have been avoided with some dialogue back and forth.
What you think, Juan? What you think, Two-Time?
I agree with what he said. The funny thing is, when it comes to competition in sports, the funny thing about the drug situation and prescriptions and everything, people are always trying to find a way to get over. And I'm not saying that Paul George was trying to do that. This was actually for his mental health. It's been documented. He's talked about this on his podcast and everything else.
For sure.
But just like 1-5 said, who stops the person who's trying to get an edge by saying, oh, well, shit, I'm taking Latuda.
I didn't know better.
It's just like those drugs have no reference or correlation to enhancing your ability to play better. But the problem with it is like I said, somebody's always looking for an edge, and you don't know if that's going to be your doorway to do something else, because a lot of times there's other ways to match drugs that you should be taking with those types of drugs. That's why the Balco situation and everything else became a big hassle in professional baseball and other sports that it was affecting. You got to be careful, because these scientists and these pharmaceutical companies are developing chemicals that in some instances aren't pretty much on these lists for banned substances, but they could be something that could help with your enhancement. And we don't really know that until the actual documentation and the research is being done to see exactly what these drugs do. So like I said, I hate that for Paul George, but at the end of the day, the collective bargaining agreement is there for a reason. And it has strict verbiage on how you do such things with that, and you need to inform whoever you need to inform in the league to get an approval, so that way it doesn't affect your availability to your team and hurt your chances of going to playoffs or even making a playoff run. Because, like I said, Philadelphia is in the run now. Whether we consider them a title threat is irrelevant to the subject. But at the end of the day, him being suspended 25 games does hurt this team. Even though he gets to come back for the season, it does hurt the team. So, like I said, I think that they need to review that in the offseason and see if there's any way they can better, travel that line. But at the end of the day, I mean, what do you expect the league to do? They gotta set a precedent, because you don't want to open up a fucking Pandora's box with this shit.
I think that if you are a person that's known for medication as far as in the league, and I think it should be known to every team, I think you should have to check in with the league doctor that you're working for on your team, and they have to submit what you take to the league so it can avoid this. Because I think they can avoid this. But I know, it's also, doctor patient, you got to be quiet.
HIPAA.
Shit. But at the same time, I think they should do that. All right, so we'll move on. One big trade that happened in the NBA: the Cavs traded DeAndre Hunter to the Kings for Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis, and the Bulls acquired forward Dario Saric in this same trade, and they also got 2 future second-round picks. I think the move for the Cavs, I don't really understand what the move is, because
the depth is all they got to think of.
I think they needed Hunter, and Schroeder has been moved around so many fucking times. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do about that. But that was just a trade I wanted to throw out before I mention this next name, and this is the biggest name. We got till February 5th for it to happen. If it happens, it might not happen. What do we think? Do we think Giannis' time in Milwaukee is over, and where do we think he should go?
Well, they said between my Heat and the Warriors, but I've had this feeling we dropped so many balls, and the fact that Giannis doesn't really feel Pat Riley because of how the way he runs our organization, and the Heat culture ain't what it used to be, unfortunately. So that may not be a move for us. I think the safer move is to go try to get Ja Morant, which I'm not even really sure how that would work because of how he is and his inconsistency of on the court this year. I feel like we're just kind of fucked. The moves we should have made them a couple years ago, and we're just kind of behind the 8 ball. So I feel like he'll probably end up in Golden State, but you can't do nothing in Milwaukee, because by the time they fix that, you done wasted about a year or 2 of his fucking prime. Versus Golden State, even with minus Jimmy Butler, they're still in a win now situation, even with whatever pieces they retain without having to send to Milwaukee to get Giannis. So we'll see.
1-5, what you think?
I think there's 3 really good landing spots for him. I just don't know how they would work out. I think the Lakers would be a great place for Giannis. I think trading him for like LeBron or somebody like that would be good. I just don't know what pieces you guys got over there to trade for him to where it wouldn't hurt you too bad. I think trading maybe like a Big Cat from New York and getting him in return would be a good move for the Knicks. And I think also in Dallas, if you wanted to get rid of Anthony Davis and get out from underneath his injuries, that'd be a good spot for him to land too. So I think those are the 3 best places for him to land. Now, where do I think he will land? I think he'll land in Golden State, like 2 times said. But it's either that or stay put. I'm just not sure which one.
I think Golden State is the right pick. We couldn't get him because we'll have to give up too much for him, and I don't want to get rid of AR at all. AR-15 is too good. Dallas would have to give up way more than just Anthony Davis to get him. They would damn near have to give up most of their team that's good. The Knicks would have to give up way more than Cat. Trust me, way more than Cat to get him, because Cat does not equal Giannis. Miami is not in the run, even though their name is mentioned. Y'all don't have shit. Let's just be honest. The Bucks don't want nothing you have, because you don't have nothing. You don't have nothing to offer nobody. I mean, it just years ago I would have gave you that. Now, no. And Pat Riley, the way he runs that organization, nobody wants to play for Pat anymore. It's just dead.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, he's just a different person now. But I think Golden State will be the best move for him. Will it happen? I don't know. And if it doesn't happen now, I think at the end of the year he's going anyway. I don't really think he's gonna make it outside of this year. So I think if he don't get traded now, by the summer he'll be gone. But that's how we feel on Giannis. I'm gonna get to this last subject and then we're gonna get up out of here. And I want to let y'all know about this. I don't know if y'all know, but I want to get y'all's thought process on it. So the NFL and the ESPN have closed $1 billion deal where they have basically agreed to now the NFL owns 10% of the network of ESPN, which is crazy. It's $1 billion agreement where the NFL now gets to now we will see the NFL network on ESPN. We will also see NFL Red Zone on ESPN. And we will also see the Fantasy League platform that they have on the ESPN now, where NFL's actually made a big boy move. Like they're making moves like the NBA now, where they get with the networks. But the thing with the NFL did is they basically said the only way we'll work with you is that we have to get a percentage. So now we know the NFL owns 10% of ESPN. What do y'all think about this? Is it something that y'all could have seen this coming anyway because that's how they do? Or do y'all think this is a good move for both networks but the league and the network to work together?
Well, this is something I heard about in November that was happening. I think what will happen is it may be a conflict of interest as far as it goes with news reporting on ESPN's end. That would be the big thing for me, man, is just the reporting. If they own a part of it, they can tell them, hey, look.
Yeah. Tell you what to say. Like the SEC and the ESPN do now. Yeah.
So I don't like that standpoint, but I do think the NFL getting part of ESPN is huge for the NFL.
Yeah, it is.
NFL is all about making money, man. But they at the end of the day, I don't like how they can control the narrative on any story that pops up through the biggest sports platform in the world on ESPN. And I just didn't like the move like that, man. I understand the move, but I didn't like it at all.
They just closed the deal like a day ago. It's closed. 2 times what you think?
I'm not a fan of it either, but my thing is this: ESPN's may be the biggest platform, but there's so many other platforms out here now that for the viewers like me, you, and 1-5, we could actually go find our own source and get palatable, opinions about what's going on in said league, especially when it comes to the NFL. Just for even some of the people that I watch, they don't sit back and sugarcoat anything. They tell it like it is. So if ESPN and NFL want to do that silly shit, act like everything's great, or only want to tell you certain things, that's fine. But the truth about what's going on in your league every year is going to come out, whether you want to put it on that platform or not. And ESPN used to be everything. At one time, that was everything. If you wanted to find out something, you had to go through ESPN. That ain't the situation no more. So if you want to own 10% or all that motherfucker, that's fine with me, because I stopped watching y'all. If there ain't no games on ESPN, I don't watch it for nothing else. I don't watch none of your shows or anything, because I saw this shit coming a long time ago. You want to control what's being said. And I'm not cool with that. I like when somebody say, hey, look, 49ers ain't shit. This is what they need to do. Not, everything's great. They had a great season. Play without money. Yeah, they should be happy to lose. Yeah, shut the fuck up. I want to hear distinct opinions about the sport. I don't want to hear no bullshit. So if that's the route you're going, that's fine. Make your money. Just for people like me, I know not to even hang on to your everything that you say. I know where to go when I want to really hear the truth. I can either come here where we do our thing, or I can go somewhere else, baby. That's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say ESPN, as far as reporting goes, just got on the same line as Fox News and CNN. I mean, they're just going to give you a slanted view on everything. You just got to.
Yeah, fuck all that.
This is the reason why they're winning. Listen, now check this out. Mm-hmm. Who is the number one person that tells you what happens in the NFL?
Adam Schefter.
Who does Adam Schefter work for?
ESPN.
Who is the number one person in the NBA that tells you about the NBA? His name is Shams. Mm-hmm. He works. It used to be Wojciechowski. It's Shams now. He works for the ESPN. So it doesn't matter if they. This is the thing about what we're saying. I agree with both of y'all. They will try to control narratives, but the problem with that is too. They're also going to have the facts. That's why they hired the number one and number one for each league. Whatever he reports, it's real. Whatever he reports, if you really think about it, Schefter he never misses. Shams never misses. When you find people that miss, they're in different networks. They're not with ESPN. That's one thing I will give ESPN. They cashed out the number one motherfuckers in both of the biggest leagues.
Yeah,
period.
Who's the guy for Fox that does the NFL? The little short, bald guy. You know what I'm talking about?
I know you're talking about. I
can't think his name.
But you know where he gets his information from?
From players.
And Schefter. He gets it from them. And he don't do number report injuries. That ain't shit. I'm talking about trades. I'm talking about signings.
Yeah, he reports trades and signings.
Yeah, but he gets it from Schefter. They get it all from Schefter.
Players.
This is Schefter's world, bro. Listen, I'm going to tell you how I know 1-5. Everything I report to you, I get it from Schefter before you and 2 times get it every time. That's why when I come on the page, even if you tell us, so-and-so got signed, Todd, I knew a day ago. I knew 2 days ago. I just didn't say shit because I didn't think it mattered. Because it wasn't nothing big. Now, if it's something big, I'll let you know. Right. But normally, it's Schefter all day long. Schefter's the number one guy for the NFL. The number one guy for the NBA is Shams. Period.
Remember, it used to be David Aldridge. I used to love David Aldridge.
David Aldridge was my dog.
And then he used to be my man.
It was Rick Bucher. It was different. It used to be different motherfuckers. It ain't no more. It's just them 2 motherfuckers. They the ones. All right.
Jay Glazer, by the way.
Yeah, Jay Glazer. I know you talking about. Let's
get
side notes and let's get the fuck out of here so I can watch my Lakers play the Knicks tonight. I don't care who it is today. 2 times. You just went last. I remember you went first last time because you gave us the birthdays. No, you didn't. 1-5 went first. 2 times is your time. Go ahead.
All right. Well, back on the 23rd, me and the rest of the fellow 49er fans lost a great. One of our best quarterbacks ever, John Brody. He died. You know, he had been sick for a while. He ended up being 90 years old. And the way I found out was kind of whack, but it was just one of those things where, I sit back and I think about, I didn't get a chance to watch his career because it was a little bit before my time. But when it comes to the lineage of 49er quarterbacks, when I look at my top 5, it goes Joe, Steve, him, and some people might not like it, but I put Colin Kaepernick at 4. And then Brock Purdy is at 5 right now until further notice. Jimmy Garoppolo was in my top 5, but then he shit himself. So, but I just want to wish him and his family my condolences. I hate the fact to hear that because, like I said, many times I used to go to YouTube and watch all of his old games and stuff like that. He was a 1970 MVP of the NFL, and it was a couple times he almost got us to the Super Bowl, back in the early days. So, I just want to say rest in peace, and like I said, condolences to his family.
Condolences for sure. 1-5, what is your side note tonight?
My side note is it's February. It's Black History Month. If you're a whitey like me,
I was waiting on it. Hey man, we're all black when the lights go off, man. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I'm joking with the whitey thing, but seriously, there's a lot of rich history with the black culture and black historical figures that we were not taught in school. Even if you went to an inner city school like myself, go out and research some things, do some, learn something new. That's what this month's all about. Even though it's the shortest month of the year, go out and learn something. You know what I mean? Learn something new. Educate yourself.
I agree.
Never stop.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you for sure.
Definitely.
My side note is I've been watching a lot of news lately, man. I've been getting a lot of messages from people, especially my girl, man. Listen, man. People in the world, man. Y'all, mental health is really real, bro. Like y'all, you got to tighten up, man. If you're not normal, and what I mean by not normal, if you have to take medication every day to function in this world, you're not normal. Okay. And what I mean by functioning in the world is you take depression, antidepressants, you take anything for anxiety. You're not normal in the world every day.
Mhm.
And you have to take that to function, bro. Go talk to go get a psychiatrist, bro, because there's too many of y'all killing people, like literally killing people, like doing some outrageous shit to other people. Like I
Yep.
don't know how you kill a human being, but the shit y'all on mentally is fucked up.
Mhm.
And I'm just saying, man, coming from a family that I deal with this, the guys I'm on this podcast with, they got people that they deal with has dealt with this. Man, please go get yourself checked out, bro. Don't let medication be the reason why you become who you are. Find out who you are first before you start even putting a pill in your mouth and going, yeah, this is what's making me feel better. It don't really gotta be that way, bro. Because
Nah.
we all go through shit. I'm gonna just be honest with you. We all go through shit. We all handle it different. But man, please try to get some help, bro. That's all I'm saying from the bottom of my heart. I'm not even trying to be funny. We need to get more help for these people out in this world, man. Y'all need to open up more of these facilities to help people, not the people put people in straight jackets and make them drug them all day long and make them fucked up. I mean, really find out what's going on with people up here, because this shit is really getting crazy. People die every day from the craziest shit, bro. Like I'm serious, bro. I'm not even gonna bring up what I've seen lately because my girl send me this shit all the time. She's in this field of medical field. So I see shit. I'll be like I give y'all one story. I'm gonna just leave it after this. Not gonna really say no names or nothing, but it was a couple. It was a couple. It was a woman and a man, and they had the man's brother had the man in his room dead for a year and was acting like he was alive in the house for a year dead in a room, windows open, whole goddamn neighborhood smell like ass because of their house. And they're taking his Social Security, all his money, everything, playing like he's alive. And the cops finally go in there and find out he had been dead for a whole year laying in the bed. And the motherfucker called the police and told the police, yeah, I think my brother in here dead. I took him breakfast this morning and he didn't respond. He had been in that motherfucker for 365 days.
Dang.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. That they're not doing that because they're normal up here, bro. That's something up here is chemically imbalanced for you to have your own brother in another room dead. And the reason why he dead, you getting gas money, food money, all type of bullshit to live, but he's dead in your house,
Yeah.
bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. Y'all need to tighten up, bro.
Yeah.
All right,
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
I was gonna say a story we just did on my other podcast was a guy in New Mexico killed his landlord and somebody else because his landlord didn't like cockroaches and he said a cockroach told him to kill him.
You
Crazy.
see what I'm saying, bro? Like we
Yeah.
have to come up with a solution for these people, man. Like I'm really being honest. Like this is not for shits and giggles and laughs. I'm dead serious. We need to find something for these people, bro. Because it's getting crazy out here, bro. Motherfuckers is dying like flies because motherfuckers up here, this shit just ain't working, bro. It's just, woohoo, they just gone. Like, gone. But I mean this on a great note. Everything I do it on God. Everything we do it on God. When I do it with my two bros, we do this shit on God. Like I say every time, I'm Young Money Bad News and Coach CF Star Money Click. I'm number one rap in the world on BMC for life. Legendary is definitely coming soon. 1-5, the other Coach CF Star Money Click. He is also the owner of Punch Me Vodka, the vodka we drink for every time we do our show. It sponsors the show. Number one producer in the world. Mountaintop is streaming now. Go check it out. Jimmy 2 times, brother from another mother. He is NA today. He's got a lot of teams. This is funny as fuck. This week we will be coming with another show. It will be our pick show. It's a special Super Bowl show. Y'all be ready for it. It's actually going to be longer than we normally do it because we're going to give y'all our take on who we think we're going to win, who we think going to win, why we think they gonna win, and we're gonna give you our picks. That's how we doing it. That's how we rolling with it. Like I say every time, y'all stay prayed up. Y'all gonna get y'all money tomorrow. God bless everybody. We out.
Peace.
Assalamu alaikum, baby.
Star money draped in gold, we sipping on success. Diamonds make moves, icy wrists stay fresh. Dating lights flicker, shadows of the best. Click rolling deep, never failing, no test. I'm the man, star money's glow. Diamonds dance, watch them show. Click together, never solo. Ohio's finest, let 'em know. OVO.